What's up, man?
What's up,
Good
Mata?
to have you.
Yes, sir.
I don't think this is a formal interview or
No.
guest.
It's two buddies catching up, man. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think this is the first one.
I saw you've been doing it, and I've always been kind of interested in trying it out, and I was like, Mata will give me a shot. So
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, this is it's a hobby at this point.
that's cool.
I ain't making no money off this.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You're doing awesome, man.
And,
it's fun.
And if you like it, we'll probably do this again.
I would love to. I'd love to make it down to Texas at some point and come into your studio and everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like it's just like an office.
Yeah,
hey,
better than being
works.
up in Ohio, man.
Yeah, well, hey, so I have a list here of topics I want to cover.
Cool.
And that's one of them is we've known each other since high school.
Yep.
And, we've clicked.
Yeah.
Same common interests.
Always stayed in touch, no matter where I was. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's one thing that I did not send your way, but friends, like you at this age, you have to put time and effort to keep friends, right?
I'll tell you something though. Thank God for Facebook. I hate saying that, but it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
There's even like a lot of family members, like even my sisters, like I don't call them or talk to them every day. Even my mom, I don't call and talk to her every day. I should. My dad, I should, but it's almost through Facebook. Everybody keeps in touch, and it's been like that for a long, long time.
What did people do before social media?
Landlines, man.
God,
you had that long ass cord. You're probably old enough to have one, but you had the long squiggly cord. You had to walk around three rooms to keep away from your parents.
Hell yeah, dude! I'd be dialing your number. I'd know it by heart. I'd be like, "Hey, Warner, what you doing today, man?"
Yeah. My grandma's leaving for work. Come on over.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love that we're kind of like in the middle of because I'm sure when you're like a little kid, you can remember where we had video games, but dude, it was like no internet, no nothing.
Mm-mm. I remember.
Now
go ahead.
We have everything.
Yeah, I remember
we're like in the middle.
I remember when my dad first got a AOL, America Online. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Instant Messenger, man. I thought I was the coolest kid. You had the dial-up. Your modem made all the crazy sounds and stuff. But yeah, now you just pick up your phone and you get anything, literally anything.
Dude, Mad Chillin' 2003.
Kid Mata 04?
Yep, that's it, bro.
Dude, I could name some of them.
Yeah. It was fun. But dude, that I think that was the first form of communicate, like text messaging,
agreed.
Digital communication. I think that was before text messages.
Yep. And then at one point when you had AIM, you could put you were away, so you didn't have to log off, and then you come back and see who messaged you. And that was the beginning of the downfall for anybody in our generation, man.
Dude, I love it, man.
I
think it's there's positives and negatives with it, but I think we're all going to eventually be, our heads are in our phones.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all going to be out of reality eventually. I don't think it's some conspiracy of
no,
we're going to, but that's the way we're going.
It's just technology. And then, at work, some of your bosses are like, hey man, you can't have your phone. It's like, we're going to get to this, later, but I've got an 8-month-old. If something happens, I need to, they're like, well, have, Lexi call the office. She ain't going to do that. She's going to pick up her phone. She's either going to call me or text me and say, hey, this is going on. I need you now. People don't realize it's literally attached to your hip.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is. It's crazy.
But it's a good thing, man.
It is. It is for 99% of the reasons. Yeah.
For business, for me, I can't even think of how I would do business without it today. Yeah. Just because since I've been in business, I've always relied on social media to spread the word. But back in the 90s and 80s, especially salespeople or gym people,
a lot harder back then.
The hell did they do?
I don't know, man.
They went and actually talked to people.
Mail flyers, right? Yeah, you had to talk to people. Go door to door.
Yeah. But that's where I don't know. I still do well with people, but that's where Lauren comes in.
Fair
and
enough.
She helps because she likes to talk to people. I do one-on-one, but I can't do a big crowd.
It's opposite with me and Lexi. I'm the people person, and she's more of the socially awkward. I'm going to try to get her to peek her head in when she comes down, but I don't think she will. She's kind of sick, so.
Yeah.
But speaking of texting, sorry I texted you so late last night, man. I watched SmackDown.
Good.
Cena's pipe bomb. Oh man.
Dude, I still watch this, but only through like, I don't sit there and watch a whole show.
I do.
And I don't think I have, I don't think I have in years. Now, some shows, like I'll turn it on, I'll get on my phone, or if I'll come back to it or whatever.
Right.
But mainly I'll watch YouTube highlights, and a
Fair
lot
enough.
of that's either the time. It's like 2 to 3 hours for a
Yes,
show.
it is.
And
that's the good thing about DVR, man. You just fast forward. But yeah, every Monday night we watch Raw, and every Friday night we watch SmackDown. It's like our highlight.
Now, have you been like that through all the years, or did you take some years off?
No, I took some years off. I think you did too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, like completely off, I took 1 year off since I've been watching it. I think that was like 2009, bro.
I don't know exactly how many years I took off, but at one point my brother texted me. He was like, "Hey, have you been watching?" And I said, "No." He goes, "Dude, you have to." So I started watching again, and I've been sucked in ever since.
You don't remember when that was?
No, 2016, 17 maybe. It was later.
Yeah.
It was later.
Yeah. So what got you into wrestling?
The storylines were coming back, man. They got soft, really soft for a long while.
No, I'm talking about at the very beginning. When you first started watching.
My dad. We would go to church every Sunday morning, and then on the way home from church, we'd buy a box of chocolate little donuts and the powdered donuts, and we'd go home and turn on wrestling, man. And I mean, you got Hulk Hogan, you got The Undertaker, you got Ultimate Warrior, and I will never forget the kid's name that told me wrestling was fake. Never ever.
Who was it?
It was in first grade. His name is Bradley Walsh.
You follow him on Facebook?
No, I knew him back when I lived in Annapolis, Maryland. So I don't have any contact basically with anybody there anymore. That was like first through third grade or something.
Yeah.
But I had to. That night, my dad got home and I said, "Dad, I got a question." He goes, "Yeah, what?" I said, "This fake." He goes, "Well," I was like, "Oh, you know."
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I think I was telling you yesterday, I went till 6th grade. That I thought, because I started watching it.
I'm glad my heart got broken before then, man.
I was a late bloomer, but
right.
I started watching it when I was 10 or 11, and I remember my older sister turned it on the TV, and it was WCW back when they were in business. I had no idea. I had no idea who was who, but I remember like Hulk Hogan being like the good guy.
Right.
And I remember watching it, and he was coming out in black, the NWO stuff.
Yep.
And he was bad.
That's when he turned bad, yeah.
Yeah. So it was the end of 97 when he was in that big feud with Sting.
Right.
And I remember being glued to him. I'm like, I thought he was a good guy.
Yeah.
Now he's bad.
He was the American hero, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so from there, I fell in love. I loved Hollywood Hogan.
Yep.
I loved the bad guys. They were cool. And that's when wrestling was actually, it's cooler now, but back in the day, it's never been as cool as it was in 1997.
We touched on that a little bit yesterday when we were trying to get everything set up. Social media, going back to the phones and everything, you know, nothing can be fake anymore because you're going to see this guy out to dinner with his wife or girlfriend. It's like, oh, dude, you just broke your leg last night, you know, like, the hell you doing? But going back to the Hogan thing, look at Cena. Cena was the best good guy almost maybe ever. And now look at him, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I think it was a little too late. And I talked about this yesterday, but I trained a guy. I was fortunate enough to meet a guy here in Denton that worked for the WWE.
Yeah.
He was a merch guy, which is so cool because the merch guy, he was an independent contractor, but he traveled with them, and they wanted the merch people to be close to the wrestlers.
Yeah, that's
awesome. They
awesome.
went on road with them, so they were just close.
Well, I asked you yesterday, you got to meet a few guys, right?
Yeah, once.
Yeah.
But they wanted the merch guys to be close so they could figure out what kind of merch to create and sell that would resonate with the talent.
Right.
So he was real close with Cena. He was close with. Yeah, I mean, I always remember Cena being the main one.
Didn't you meet Ryback? Didn't you say that?
I did.
That's right.
Yeah, I did.
Gigantic.
So, yeah. So this was 2013. There was a house show in Fort Worth, and this is when I was training him every week. So he would go out of town, come back into town. He still lives here in Denton.
Yeah.
And so he would give me tickets all the time.
That's awesome.
And they're pretty good tickets, you know, not front row, but really good.
Yeah.
He was such a cool dude. And give me tickets. He gave me autographs. I think he got me an autograph from CM Punk.
Hell yeah.
And
hold on to that, man. Hell yeah.
Randy Orton. I already threw all that crap
away. Oh, man. You should have sent it to me.
I know, right? But, so there's this house show, and there's a girl that is still on my Facebook. Her name's Stephanie, but she is a huge John Cena fan. And like just diehard, like goes crazy every time. So she's a big wrestling fan. I was with her. I was with my buddy Chuck and a couple other people. And my WWE guy got all of us tickets. But he was telling me, and this is the first time I've admitted this.
Yeah.
But he was telling me, he's like, hey, I may be able to get you backstage when y'all come. Yeah. He said, but don't. He said, don't tell anybody, because if you tell some of those people, they're gonna want to go. We can't bring them all back here.
Right.
Like, so a house show is cool because to go do that, because there's none of the TV people there, none of the big bosses.
Yep.
It's just a house show. Yep. So it's like the talent and that's it.
Yeah.
And the agents. So this was his opportunity to get somebody back there, me. And he said, I'll text you if I can get you back. So I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm just acting like I don't know anything. And then he sends me a text. He's like, meet me at the merch stand at this part of the building. And I'm like, hey, I got to go to the bathroom, guys.
Oh, no. So, that's awesome.
No, dude. Yeah. No. I feel bad, but hey, I'm selfish.
Did you end up coming back to the seats, and you were like, oh, by the way, they were probably like, fuck you, dude.
Well, what's cool is I went back there, and it's how it's set up. It's so weird. So when you go to the merch table, so it's like you go into the convention center, you give your ticket, you go in, and then if you've been to a WWE event, the merch stands are right there before you walk into your seats, right?
Yep.
And so I go to where he told me to go, and he comes. He's like wearing his WWE thing. He's a merch guy. He comes and grabs me. He says, follow me. And we literally here's all the people waiting for their T-shirts. We go to the right. There's one door. He takes me through the door. There's a cop right there. Mm-hmm. We go past the cop. We go down just a little hallway, and there's Cena.
That's awesome, dude.
Right behind the door where everybody is.
Was he like waiting for you? Or he just happened to be right there.
No. So this is how it went. I was drinking a lot because I was nervous. I mean, I was starstruck, bro.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm drinking a lot, and so he takes me, and then we walk down that little hallway, and then we get to the backstage before anybody knew what backstage was. Mm-hmm. And it was, I was just amazed because it was just like a bunch of folding chairs stacked up. There was a forklift. It was just like a back of a warehouse.
Yeah, you're just backstage of a Coliseum, basically. Yeah.
Yep. And so there's some folding chairs that were actually set up, and Cena was sitting down, and a referee was talking to him. Just standing up.
This is how the match is going to go, man.
Yep. Yeah, whatever. They're probably just talking about whatever. Yeah. And then Jim comes over, and he's like, hey, Cena, this is this personal trainer that I've been talking about. Now, I was nervous as hell.
I bet.
Because, well, not just starstruck, bro.
Okay.
But he told me before, if he ever got me to meet him, that he used to be a personal trainer. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
He used to be a trainer before he was a superstar. And so he's like, he's going to quiz you. And I was new at training at the time. So I thought he was going to catch me not knowing my shit. Mm-hmm. So, dude, I was so nervous, starstruck, nervous. It was just, and then, so he stands up. And I remember he stands up all slow, comes over to me all professionally. And so the way Jim used to talk to him was like he was cool as hell.
Yeah.
Just this cool guy. I mean, some of the stories I've heard are crazy. But just another guy. So when he came over to me, not only was I nervous, but he was so professional.
Yeah.
And he was just like, how are you? Nice to meet you. And I'm
That's
like,
cool, man.
Just intimidated.
Yeah, I bet.
I
bet.
I was like, oh my God. And so I talked to him, but you could tell I was nervous. And Jim makes fun of me. He's like, dude, you're nervous, man.
Was he saying that right in front of Cena?
No. But I was trying to make him laugh, and it didn't come out right because I was stuttering. And
he's probably used to that, though, you know?
Yeah, but then I said, hey, I really respect what y'all do in the ring. And I was like, if you have any tips for me,
fair enough.
I'm a personal trainer, you know, and he gave me some tips. I was like, hey, do you mind taking a picture with me? And then we went and took a picture. You know, I'm glad I got that picture.
That's cool.
And
you still have that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I put it out every once a year online.
I love it.
It's my little pride and joy.
Hell yeah.
But then he took me around, and I remember seeing, dude, you remember Cesaro?
Yes.
I remember seeing him just sitting in a corner by himself, just kind of looking around. And
Really?
I'm just like, and then I saw, do you remember who's the tall black guy? Real tall black guy. He fell and went under the ring that one time. The Royal Rumble.
I know you're talking about Titus O'Neil.
Titus O'Neil, dude. Yep. He came up to me and gave me like a handshake, and I remember because he is huge.
I can't even imagine, man.
And he was in his underwear, and it just, to me, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, and then after that, he took me over to Ryback, and Ryback was like, I was the least nervous because it was at the end, and Ryback was so cool.
That's cool, man.
And Ryback was sitting at a table, and he was signing autographs, like a bunch of his pictures, just signing them and throwing them in a trash can.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. So they take a bag, and then they go sell it for like $20.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
So it was crazy. I got a picture with him, and then he got me out of there, and I went back to my seat, and I was like, yeah, it was a long shit. And then I didn't tell anybody, and I just posted the picture online.
Yeah.
And they got so mad, and I lied. I was like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Jim kind of just grabbed me.
That's awesome. So speaking of house shows, when I was growing up, when I was young, like getting into wrestling, my dad, I guess through his job, would get tickets to, they were called In Your House, the house shows.
Mm-hmm. And, WWF.
Yep, WWF. And one time we were right along where they run down the ramp, and Bret the Hitman Hart slapped my hand one time, and I think I looked at my dad. I said, "I'm never washing this hand again." It's like, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Were you a big Bret Hart fan like since then?
He was one of the good guys. So yeah, he always had a place. That's growing up, Ultimate Warrior was my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, he was the high energy, would shake the rope, and he'd get you going, man. He'd get you going.
You could tell, dude, he was on some stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
He came back for a minute, and then he
passed away the next night.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, he had some kind of was he inducted to the Hall of Fame?
Heart failure. Yeah, he was inducted to the Hall of Fame. Dude, it's crazy. I'm not a big spiritual person.
Yeah.
But he came back for a night, and then for him to die right after he actually made it right with the WWE, because he was at button heads all his career, apologized, got his Hall of Fame.
It's meant to be.
Inductory, and then he died.
Yep, it was meant to be. Lexi and I went to Raw a few months ago. I partied a little too hard beforehand, so it wasn't such a great time for us. But I got us tickets. SmackDown's coming to town in a few weeks, so we're going to SmackDown. So I'm gonna take it easy this time and enjoy the show.
So hold on, you partied hard the night before, or before you went?
We went to dinner before and everything, and I'm like, I'm not driving. I can have a couple margaritas, and
yeah, dude, you can't.
No, she wasn't.
I was pretty smashed when we went, but the adrenaline, woke me up.
That'll help.
But yet, what's funny with wrestling, dude, I love that you wanted to talk about this, because all of my friends, I don't know how it's been with you, and I'm going to ask you, but all of my friends, none of my friends, except for you, and I can say my other buddy Ryan, are the two nerds in my life that have accepted my wrestling liking.
Do they like it?
Those two, and my buddy Ryan, are the only two out of all my friends. So all my friends have always wondered why the hell I watch it.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I love it.
There's one guy I work with right now that he talks about it, but he's not as into it as me. And then Lexi is like the only person I can talk to it about, because she thought I was so stupid for watching it when we first started dating. Yep. And now she'll text me Monday morning when I'm at work. She's like, Raw tonight. I'm like, yeah, I know.
So she loves it?
She loves it, dude. CM Punk, so cool. She says CM Punk's her boyfriend.
That is awesome.
Yeah. We love it.
So how did you meet Lexi?
Okay. I moved to Ohio back in 2019. I got a serving/bartending job at a place called Melt. It was a nice gourmet sandwich shop. They were known for their grilled cheese sandwiches. You could make crazy grilled cheese sandwiches. We had pre-made ones with the certain things on them where you could just kind of build your own. It was a pretty nice restaurant. They are shut down as of now. They, COVID and everything happened. But when I first started working there, there was this table, and it was a grandma and this cute little blonde girl. And I was like, it wasn't my table. I was like, I'm just going to kind of creep by. So I walk by, I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? Just keep walking. I get to the back, and my friend Elijah's working. I looked at him, I go, dude, who the fuck is that? And he looked at me, he goes, out of your league, bro. Out of your league. I was like, oh,
that's
man.
Hilarious.
I was like, she is gorgeous. She is beautiful. So time goes on. Her and her grandma, I guess, are regulars. They used to come in like once a week, and they started coming.
First of all, I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Her and her grandma going up there being regulars, that's great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's very close with her grandparents each side. She's very, very close. So they start coming in more frequently, and I start talking to her, blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, Taylor, Taylor, my niece, Taylor is her boss at Express, the clothing outfitter in the mall. We were connected to the mall. So one day I walked in to say hi to Taylor at her work, and I see this pretty little blonde girl in the corner. And I'm like, Taylor, who is that? She's like, no, David, too young for you. First of all, I don't know how young she is at this point, okay? So come to find out, it's the same girl that comes into my work.
Oh, dude, that's great. I didn't know that.
So, as time goes on, I always stop and say hi to Taylor, and I'm like, oh, hey, Lexi, how you doing? She would come into my work. I'd stop by if she was my table or not. Most of the time I'd be like, ask for me. So, I don't know. COVID happened. She would come in and get to-go food. And at one point, Taylor was having a Halloween party, and Lexi was walking out. She has a boyfriend at this point. But Lexi's walking out, and I'm like, are you going to Taylor's Halloween party by any chance? She was like, yeah, are you going to be there? I was like, well, now I am. Hell yeah. So
that's funny.
The first time we actually, hung out, face-to-face was the Halloween party. And from then, man, we've been hip to hip the whole time. I mean, it's been crazy.
That is awesome.
It was definitely meant to be.
Before her, were you with anybody recently, close to her, or had you been single for a while?
Tinder. Actually, one of the reasons I moved to Ohio from Missouri is because I had a big breakup, and we had an apartment together, and I just didn't like my situation, so I just told her. She kind of kicked me out. She said, you got 2 weeks to get out, and my parents had already moved back to Texas. I didn't have any family. I didn't have anybody there, basically. So I called Taylor one day, and I was like, hey, I don't want to go back to Texas. I said, I need somewhere to go. She goes, why don't you come to Canton, Ohio? And it's funny that I live in, I love football, obviously, but I live in the Pro Football Hall of Fame city. So,
yeah.
So that's kind of how all that went down. So I stayed with her for a while, and then me and Lexi met. We got an apartment together. And then I'm sure this is probably the next thing you're getting on to. We found out we were pregnant.
So how long between you being with her and getting pregnant?
4 years. So we're going on 5. He's 8 months. So yeah. We had a little 1-bedroom apartment. It was right on a main strip. We had everything right there. And we started looking for, places to move in. And her family was kind enough, hey, we want to help you guys as much as possible. So why don't you just come stay with us? So at the moment, we're with her parents at their house. It's in Akron, Ohio. It's about 20 minutes from where we used to be. But, dude, we have all the help in the world. They help us with the baby all the time. The grandparents help us.
Good.
The grandparents help us all the time. We don't have to pay for childcare or anything. So it's a blessing, man. It really is.
Does she work?
Yeah, she is a department manager at Dillard's. You guys have Dillard's down there. It was at Golden Triangle.
Yeah.
She is not very happy with her job right now, so she's looking. But somebody will give her a chance. She's been doing that for going on 4 years, basically, because like I said, we're going on 5. She kind of left Express and went to Dillard's right at the time that she and I were getting serious. So, she's a manager and everything, but they're not treating her well. She bends over backwards for them, and they don't do anything for her. So she's looking. She'll get something.
It's a stepping stone.
Yeah, exactly. Else. Right.
She'll find something.
Yep.
But so now that's where you are now. Where are you working at?
I work for. Okay. Do you know what Sugardale is? You buy bacon or ham at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Well, so the company I work for is called Freshmark. They're better known as Sugardale because Sugardale is the name on the packaging and everything. But basically what we do is produce and supply bacon and ham and hot dogs and all kinds of meats and stuff. I'm kind of like their Swiss Army knife. I do whatever they tell me to do. I drive the forklift. I do quality assurance. I get on the production line when I need to. I got to set up the computers in the morning for the orders and everything.
What's your schedule?
It is Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. till 3:30, and then Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2:30. Saturdays,
oh, wow. 6 days
dude,
a week, bro?
It's fucking ridiculous, especially with the baby. And once again, glad to have her family here available to help.
Yeah.
Everybody is pissy on Saturdays. Everybody's in a bad mood. Nobody wants to fucking work. And I don't, dude, yesterday it was miserable. I was kind of the foreman of the room, and everybody's bitching to me. And I'm like, you think I want to fucking be here right now? Like, I got a baby at home. I'd much rather, he's got a swimming pool blown up, and he's kicking in the water right now. I'd rather be kicking in the water. So Saturdays aren't an every week thing, but like this is kind of our busy season, so it's basically an every week thing. Lexi's birthday is actually this coming Saturday, and I was like, I will not be here. You can give me my points or whatever, but I will not be here. But my boss was like, you can take off.
Yeah. And how long have you been there?
Since November. I was at another production company, but I was considered a temp, and so if I came in and there wasn't any work to be done, they would send me home.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even call me and say, hey, we don't need you. They would make you come in at 6 in the morning, and then they'd send you home. So I'm like, hey, my girlfriend, my fiance's pregnant. I have got a kid on the way. I said, I can't play this game of no paycheck from week to week. So, I started putting my feelers out there, and Freshmark, they hit me up right away, and they said, come on.
So this is more reliable.
Yeah, oh, extremely. And I'm moving up. I mean, there's people that have been working there for years that I'm already doing more than. I don't know if they choose not to, or I think it's more of my boss realizes that I'm willing and capable to take on different things and do different things.
Yeah. So, well, dude, you've been a manager, right? You were a manager at Wingstop for so long.
Man. You know it.
Dude, that was the
I think everybody that's going to watch this knows that, man.
You should be like the owner of Wingstop.
I know.
And own a bunch of franchises.
Yeah, that would be nice. If I would have stuck track.
How was it?
Wingstop was fun. I mean, I ate free wings every day, man. It was nice. It was cool because me and my brother lived together, and I was kind of like the lunchtime manager. So I'd go in and open at 10, I think it was 10, 9:30 or 10, and then I would work till 4. And then my brother would come in. He'd work from 4 till midnight. So, like, we lived together, but we never really saw each other. And then when we did, we'd just kick back and have a couple beers and play some video games. I'd be like, all right, man, I got to go to bed, So it was an easy lifestyle. It was fun. I mean,
but how was the corporate of Wingstop? Was it just pretty simple, or?
I didn't have to deal with corporate a whole lot. The only person I really had to deal with was Pat, the owner, and he was a different character. I'm not going to talk shit on anybody. I probably already burned my bridge, but he was. You never knew what you were going to get with him on a day-to-day basis. He could come in and be really cool, or he'd come in and there'd be a piece of salt on the countertop, and it would just ruin his whole fucking day. And it's like, dude, you got other stuff to worry about, man.
Yeah.
So
and it was at Denton. So the Denton location, he was the owner the whole time you were there.
Yeah, he owned the one on 288, and then the one that opened up in Razor Ranch, which Taylor actually was the GM there for quite a while.
What?
She worked there for I want to say a few years, honestly. So Rich was the GM at our place. I was the AGM, and then Taylor was the GM down in Razor Ranch. So we should own a few at this point.
Yeah.
It was all right though, man. I mean, I don't want to call it like a high school job or anything like that, but in between working, I had 2 stints at Wingstop, and in between there, I worked for Ben Deanda. Shout out Ben. He's a real estate agent. You know Ben, right?
No.
Oh, you don't know Ben?
What's the last name?
Deanda? No, I thought you met Ben before, but that was probably my favorite job I ever had. He was a real big real estate agent in Louisville. I think he's in real estate in some kind of capacity at this time, but I was kind of his monkey boy, man. He would send me out and send packages or put signs in yard. I'd make phone calls. I'd pick up the phone. Just whatever he asked me to do. That's probably my favorite thing. And then I wanted to get my real estate license, but that's when the stock market crashed and the housing market crashed. And I went in one day and he was like, I can't afford you anymore, man. So I ended up having to go back to Wingstop.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
But that
things
was
happen.
that 2009?
Yes, right around 2009, 2010.
Yeah. So when you met Lexi, when did you get pregnant? How long ago was that? It was
2020. She told me March 2024.
Okay.
Yep, and we had him in October.
Okay, October was his birthday.
Yep.
And then, so how was the birth of your child?
It was different. Well, first off, it was scary. I was at work on Friday. She tried to call me on Friday, and she doesn't usually try to call me when I'm at work. So I tried to call her, and she goes, "I think it's happening." So I had to go to my boss. I was like, "Dude, I gotta go. I gotta go." So she goes, "Well, let me call you back and let you know what's going on." So she went to the hospital. They said, "You're not dilated enough." They sent her home.
Yeah.
So Saturday, I'm at work. I get a call. David, it's happening. It's happening. I said, "Well, I'm going to hold, I'm going to wait." So she calls me again. She goes, "They're sending me home. I'm not dilated enough." So Sunday, she is like falling to her knees in pain, but she's like, "I'm not going fucking back there because they're just going to send me home." So I'm like, "Yeah, you're fine. We'll be all right." So Monday morning, she wakes up and she is just excruciating pain. And I'm like, "Whatever, it can't hurt that bad, whatever." So she's like, "David, I'm serious." I said, "All right." I said, "If you're that serious," I said, "at least give me 5 minutes to get up and shower and we'll go." No more than 2 minutes later, she goes, "Get the fuck in the shower." And I was like, all right. So
her water broke?
No, it didn't break. But we ended up going to the hospital. She was at 8 centimeters. And they looked at me. And they were like, "You were about to give birth to a baby in your car."
Dang.
So they rushed her back there. They were good enough to give her an epidural, thank God, because she was in pain. But I left the room for a minute. I came back in, and she looked at me. She's like, "Hi, baby." I was like, "Oh my God." So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I watched everything. My brother told me not to. My brother's got 3 kids himself, but at first I was like staring at the wall, and I was like, "I gotta look."
Yeah.
So I looked, and then from then on, man, I couldn't look away at that point. I couldn't look away. It was the most fascinating, most beautiful, most disgusting thing that has ever happened in my life.
That's life, man.
It is. That's the creation of life. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a fairy tale. I mean, it is. It's beautiful.
It is.
But it's different. It's not what you see in movies.
No, not at all. No.
Yeah.
Any of you out there expecting, it's not like the movies.
No, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of chaos leading to the birth of your son.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then ever since then, man, he's a dream. He barely whines. He rarely cries. He's just all smiles, and he's happy all the time.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Everything really you ever imagined, right?
Even more, even better. Because I expected, crying and snot and spit. I mean, we get that stuff too, don't get me wrong. He's actually kind of sick right now. They both are, but it's you don't even think about it that way anymore. It's like, oh, he drooled on me, whatever,
Yeah. Did you gain weight?
No.
I mean, you never gain weight, but
I've never been forever chubby.
I actually ate a cheeseburger before this started to just be in spirit.
Yeah, we're going out to dinner after this. That's funny now that you say that. I did gain. I actually gained more weight than she did at first. I think I'm usually around 250 or 250. Oh my God, 150, 155. I got up to like 168, 170, and I was like, dude, I'm like 18 pounds heavier, and you're barely even. I mean, she's a skinny mini, man. She's a tiny little thing. But I was gaining more weight than her at first. But
it's weird. It's just how it works. Yeah, it's just because you're around her. Yeah, it came right off.
Yeah. She fell as soon as she had the baby, man. She right back up too. So she's lucky.
Yeah,
she's lucky.
So when my ex had Alex, so his birth date or his due date was supposed to be on the 23rd of December. Mm-hmm. So it was going to be a Christmas baby, dude. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But so come the 23rd, she was, what is it called? She wasn't ready.
Okay.
And
dilated.
So yeah, she wasn't dilated. And then so we went in for her to be induced on the 29th, mm-hmm. like that night. And then so on the 30th, he was born. But he came so fast.
So he was a week late. You said 23rd he was due.
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. He wasn't coming. And then it was on the 30th or the 29th. We went in there overnight, and I had to stay there overnight. And then he came so fast in the morning from when she was feeling contractions to him with how dilated she was. They checked, and she was already like 8 or 7 or something.
That's when it's go time.
Yeah, so they couldn't give her epidural, so she was in a lot of pain, dude.
Lexi was so lucky, dude. She was so lucky.
I think it was 6 hours of labor, and I remember, we all are emotional when our kids are born.
For sure.
And I was tearing up and I was crying, and partially, because of the birth of my son, but a lot of it is because of how much pain she was going through, bro. I remember texting in a group. I used to be in a group text with like Shane and all them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
horrible.
so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was in so much pain. And then he finally was born. I remember looking, and it was traumatic, but beautiful at the same time. And he was born, and so Allie, my ex, she would pass out under really a lot of stress. So she's one of those, the movies where people get so overwhelmed they pass out.
Right.
Well, she's one of those in real life. Like if she gets overwhelmed, she'll pass out. So she's given birth to her son, and she fucking. I didn't even realize it until I saw video later, but she passed out when she gave birth. She doesn't remember giving birth. And so in the video of us holding the baby, you can hear in the background the doctor saying, Alicia, wake up, Alicia, because they didn't know if she was dead.
Dang, man. That puts you through even more.
Yeah. It was just crazy, but it's beautiful, man.
Yeah. So I say Lexi's lucky that she got one, because I didn't have anything like that. She was just we had Scooby-Doo playing on the TV. The doctors would kind of come in and check on her every once in a while, and they would be like, are you ready to push? And she just kind of in there. She was high as hell, man. I don't know exactly what drugs they give you, but and then every once in a while they would be like, all right, push. And then it became more frequently. It's like, all right, you need to push now. You need to push.
Yeah.
And then that very last one, man, it's just like, whoop, it was crazy. Crazy.
I like that sound effect. I mean, dude, we have it so easy, bro. Like we just sit back.
Yeah.
We sit back. I mean, we're emotional. Like, don't get me wrong. We do a lot, but
I can't remember if I cried or not. I know I got teary-eyed, but like, I don't know if I was if she was in pain, like you were talking about. Yeah, I probably did cry. I was
cried, dude. You're emotional as hell.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, being a father, it's everything that you.
It's even more, man. When I get home from work every afternoon and I turn I'll come around the corner real slow, and he'll look at me, and he'll just get that slow smile on his face, and he just biggest smile, and he starts reaching for me and stuff. It's like, hell yeah.
So what is one of like what's the most challenging thing, do you think, that you didn't imagine about it?
Waking up in the middle of the night, because I work so early. But that's not even challenging. He's an angel, dude. He's a blessing. Just waking up in the middle of the night. He's getting a lot better. Honestly, Lexi's usually the one that gets up. She'll wake me up every once in a while and be like, hey, can you make a bottle? And I'm like, motherfucker,
That's how it was.
Yeah, but I get up, make a bottle, and go back to bed.
Yep, you do it anyways.
Yeah. But other than that, man, like I thought changing diapers was gonna suck. That's easy. It's wipe them real quick and you're done. I don't have an answer to your question. Getting up in the middle of the night, that's it. He's been awesome.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. Dude, I'm so excited for you, because every year all of the phases are different and they're special in their own way.
Yeah.
But I will say, as they get older, dude, especially knowing you and your love for sports and football, and, you can probably try to make him an Atlanta Falcons guru.
He already has a Robinson jersey, dude. Don't worry about that. He's got a matching one. He's got the black one. Yeah, he's got one.
But every stage, David, is great. Yeah. So, like, if you're going to ask me, I'm going to say every stage. So now so Alex is 10, Gage is 10.
Dude,
so
that's awesome.
They are, I mean, it's just so fun. I helped coach baseball. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
I can't wait.
I don't even know what I'm doing out there, but I did it. I'm like, I want my son to see me involved.
Yep,
and
for sure.
You know, the coaches are like, hey, can you help? And I'm like, as long as you know, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
And they were like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Yeah, that's cool, man. But it just, I can't wait until he gets older and older and older. You're playing t-ball, and then it morphs into like now, like I'll weirdly look at my boys, and like, not in like a bad way, but I weirdly like just stare at them, and I'm looking at their knees because their fucking knees are like growing like men.
Yeah.
Their feet, I'm like, holy shit, they're becoming actual. And then I'm thinking of when I was their age. I'm like, holy shit, I can remember being in their mentality at that age. I'm like, they're going through the same shit.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's just like, this how it works.
Yeah.
It just repeats. And now I get the opportunity to lead my boys.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. And I can't wait because you're going to love it, man. Baseball, whatever. What are you going to put them in? Do you know?
I'm going to let him kind of choose. Yeah, I'm going to let him kind of choose, see what he likes. I would love baseball. I would love maybe start him off in flag football. You know, get him in pads at some point. Football was my favorite to play. I loved football. I loved basketball. Every time we go out in the garage, man, I've got a basketball in the corner, and all he wants to do is whenever he touches it, I bounce it, and he gets so excited about it. So hopefully basketball thing. So me growing up, I was football, basketball, baseball.
Take videos, man.
Oh, yeah.
Take them all.
That's easy now. You got your phone. Like we were talking about earlier, you got your phone to do all that stuff.
Yeah. I remember I would drop him off at his mom's because me and his mom eventually separated.
Yeah.
I'd drop him off, and then I would go drive. Her mom, she lived with her mom, and her mom lived on an acre. So I would drop him off, and then he would go out to the front yard and run down my truck. Down the fence line.
That's fun.
Just running as I drove. And it was just, I'd always record it. It was just little shit like that.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's the little stuff you want to keep, man. I know. Go ahead.
Well, when he gets to this age, you're going to have to discipline and figure out. Yeah. And Lauren is so good about like helping me with this. Cause it's like, David, you need to do this. You need to do that. Yeah. And it's all true. And sometimes because he's your blood, you want to just like, for me, I don't have them all the time, right? Yeah. So when I have them, I want to spoil them.
Yeah.
But you can't do that because then you turn him into something that he's not, or that he shouldn't be. You know, he's going to feel like he's owed everything. He should be entitled and all that. So it's hard to discipline him. Like I had to ground him the last week and listen to him talk back. And then his mom will call me. He's like, Alex isn't listening. And then I have to talk to him. He's like, Dad, I'm sorry. And it's just weird.
I hear you.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing about like Lexi's grandparents watching Phoenix all the time. Like I know he's going to get whatever he wants whenever he wants, and I got to be like, "Hey, you can't do that." You know, like cuz then I'm held to that standard, and I don't want him to be like that. Like you said, you don't want to make him something that he doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
So,
there's no right or wrong too. So you find your own like groove, but you just it's hard. It's crazy as I go through the motions. I'm like, shit, this is so important. As much as I don't want to ground him for this because I want him to feel good and happy, I'm like, I have to fucking stay. So I talk to him a lot. I'm like, Alex, I have to ground you because it's not just like you're grounded because you're bad. It's like your reaction or your choice to talk back to your mom instead of doing it this way. This is going to lead to this, and I'm going to ground you, and you have to be grounded. I'm not going to like, you have to feel that pain because when you're older and you make those bad choices, there's jail time. There's far bigger consequences.
It's a lot worse than just go sitting in your room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were asking me yesterday how we came up with the name Phoenix.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with Alex? It's Alexander, right?
Yes. So Allie, Allie was always, it was her way or the highway.
Okay. Yep.
And for the most part, I was good with it, but there's some things I'm like, nah.
Hey, man, I've been there.
We ain't doing.
I've been there.
But because of her, like her family legacy, so her mom's name is Alicia, starts with an A. Her name is Alicia. She goes by Allie, starts with an A. She really wanted our son's name to start with an A. First of all, I thought we were going to have a girl just because I have all sisters.
Right.
She has all sisters.
Yeah.
And I was so ready for a little girl, but it was like a win-win. We had a boy.
Oh, yeah.
And so she really wanted the name to start with A, and it came down to a bunch of names. Dude, I could think of some crazy names that I wanted, and I'm like, why would I?
You're like, thank God I didn't.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But there was one we're gonna name him Axel.
Okay.
And I'm glad we didn't, even though that's not a bad name, but it's not.
I wouldn't have gone with it.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, no. But so we went with Alexander.
Yeah, good.
Because it's a strong name. And
what's your middle name?
I don't have one.
Oh, see, I thought your name was your middle name was Alexander. That's why I thought it had like a connection to it.
My parents were lazy as fuck.
Fair enough. It's just David.
Because my dad's name is David.
Really?
So I'm guessing my mom was like, "Yeah, just take that."
Whatever. Well, that's funny. So yeah,
What's your middle name?
Christopher.
Yeah, all those white names, bro.
Yeah.
David Christopher.
So we came up with Phoenix, and we were gonna go with Phoenix Richard. Didn't really roll off the tongue real hard, so I said, "Why not Phoenix Christopher?" She was like, "Done, no more." So the way we came up with Phoenix is, if it was a boy, she got the choice of first name. And we sat down one night, and I was like, it's time to start talking about this. She goes, "Okay, I've been thinking. What about Phoenix?" And I said, "You're done. That's it. No more."
You knew right away?
I knew right away. She chose it because she's a big Harry Potter fan. There's something, the Order of the Phoenix. I've never gotten into it hardcore. I've seen a couple movies here and there.
Nerd.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason I was so excited about Phoenix is my favorite hockey team that no longer exists used to be called the Phoenix Coyotes. So I've got my sports, put into it. So
is that what you were thinking when you were like?
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
When did they switch? Because who did they switch to?
They ended up turning into the Arizona Coyotes back in, I don't even know what year it was, 2009 or 8, I believe. So they were the Phoenix.
Recent.
Yeah, Phoenix Coyotes, then the Arizona Coyotes, and then actually last year they completely got rid of them.
Wow.
They were called the Utah Hockey Team last year.
What?
Yeah, that was like like the Washington Football Club did or whatever.
Yeah.
Now they are called. They get a mascot now. They're called the Utah Mammoth. So I'm going to take that on. I just, it's all the same players I watched a few years ago. They all have the same dream. It's so their logo is actually pretty cool. So I actually I got a T-shirt.
I wonder why they moved them. What the fuck is in Utah?
They couldn't get funding for a new stadium, or they were fighting with the NHL about this or that, and the NHL kind of went behind their backs and actually moved them. Like, yeah,
really,
it's pretty crappy. Yeah.
Dude, I will tell you, I'm back in hockey.
Are you?
Like, I was huge in 1997 when I was like,
because the Stars were good this year.
Well, no. Okay, usually I always watch Stars because they've been good for
a while.
The last 4 years, they went to like.
They fired their head coach this year after they.
I know.
That sucks, man. That's stupid.
I know. I don't know what I think about it, but if it's basketball, hockey, baseball, because they play so many games, I only watch it when they're into the playoffs.
I feel you. But that's why football is so different. It's once a week. Yeah. You watch your team once a week. Me, unfortunately, get to watch my team lose every fucking week. But I'm excited for
I'm going to get to that.
I'm excited for this year. Yeah, we'll get to the NFL. But
yeah. But the hockey, man, I'm back into it. It's so back and forth. Like, you could have a breakaway at one end and then the goalie saves it, and then it's back at the other end.
Oh, yeah.
And I love hockey. I think I really, even though I'm a big Dallas Stars fan, just because, you
live there.
Back in the day, Mike Modano,
yeah.
I got to watch them win a Stanley Cup when I was young. And, but now, anytime they're in the playoffs, I'm Dallas Stars all the way. But they got knocked out by the Oilers the last 2 years.
Yep.
And, I'm not too emotionally into it, so I'm not like anti-Oilers.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I like Connor
McDavid.
Connor McDavid.
Yep.
And dude, he was so good
He's
that
sick.
I wanted them to win against. And then Florida won the last year, so I'm like hoping the Oilers could win. But man, Florida.
They went back to back.
Florida's sick, bro.
Yeah.
They don't have one player that's a Connor McDavid.
Right.
But their whole team, just the way the goalie, what was his name? Bob, whatever.
Bobrovsky, Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
And they've got a Kachuk brother on there. He's really good. And then they traded for Brad Marchand from the Bruins. He's that guy. He's a nutcase, but he's sick. I think he scored 6 goals in the Stanley Cup and then all those games, something like that.
Did you watch it?
Here and there. I didn't actually sit and watch like a full game or anything. They start these even the NBA finals, man. Like the game tonight's not till 8:00. You know, it's not super late, but it's like, you know,
I got kids,
bro.
Yeah,
exactly. You gotta get the baby down. I gotta get to bed. I usually don't go to bed till about 2:00 in the morning, though. You know, I try, but I just can't fall asleep. But they just have these games on so late nowadays.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So the Falcons, what are they doing this year?
Man, I don't want to. I don't know.
Did y'all not make any off-season moves?
We drafted 2 edge rushers. One guy from Georgia and one guy from Tennessee, Pierce, and then Walker. They're supposed to jump right in and be able to start playing. Penix Jr. is now our quarterback instead of Cousins.
That'll be good.
Yeah, I think so. Cousins is still our backup, though, because we can't get rid of him because nobody wants to pay the fucking money that we gave him last year. So, hey, we have him as a backup, you know.
Lauren loves Cousins. So Lauren's not a huge, but she loves the Netflix stuff.
Yeah, I watched that.
Into the players.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And she became a big Cousins fan.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude. He really wanted to go to Atlanta, and then I guess he hurt himself and didn't tell anybody. He hurt his shoulder. So then he had a stretch of games where he threw for 1 touchdown and like 9 interceptions or some shit. So they're like, dude, you're done. So Penix came in and started the last 3 games, and he played okay. They say he's got a lot of promise. They say he's got an arm, man. They say he can just rocket that ball. So
that's important.
He actually played for a national title. He played in Washington. I forget exactly who they played for the title that year. They ended up losing, but he knows how to win. So yeah, I'm excited to see.
They might be good.
They could be. We started off last year on top of our division, and then we ended up falling apart. Fucking Dallas's Bucks always end up finding a way to jump into first place.
Yeah.
I'm tired of them. I do like Baker Mayfield though.
Yeah, dude. And watching him last year, when he played against us.
Yeah.
His talent, man.
His talent, his
arm,
his attitude. He'll say "fuck you" and he'll run right down the field and score on you. It's like, damn. Yeah. Like, how do you stop him? They just got a really good receiver in the draft too. So I'm a little nervous. I don't want to sit here and say we'll win the division. I'm hopeful to get a wild card and maybe make some noise in the playoffs.
You have New Orleans,
Carolina, and Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Yep.
Carolina. Yeah, I don't know about Carolina, but the 49ers, man, it could be a rebuilding year. I'm better off the way it is now because when your team is projected to go back to the Super Bowl, it sucks when you lose. Mm-hmm. But see, now that we lost Debo, which sucks because I really wanted to win. He went to the Commanders.
That's right.
Which could be a dangerous team.
Man, yeah.
But I will say he got fucking hurt all the time. I like Debo, but I don't like people causing drama.
Yeah.
On my team,
right?
And he caused a lot of drama, and
he was hurt.
Yeah. At least every season for a little bit.
Yeah, but that guy, man, if he touches the ball, you don't know what's going to happen. You know.
Yeah, and he don't even look like he's doing anything, but he's just like 3 steps ahead of everybody.
Yeah, and they say he's just so big too.
I do like Brock. I think he has limitations after watching him all these years, but we're not going to get anybody better. He's young. Right. Yeah. He has a great attitude. Bro.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. And so I'm excited. We have some good we had a rookie receiver last year, Parcells, that got shot.
Yeah.
He'll be good. We have CMC, bro. Like,
yeah, he's got to stay healthy. That's another guy you need to stay healthy. Wasn't Brock Purdy? Wasn't he the very last draft pick in his draft?
Yep.
Mr. Insignificant. See, man, take a story like that. I mean, shit. Look at Tom Brady. He was drafted in the 7th round or some shit like that, 6th round or something like that.
The GOAT.
Yeah, he is. I hate saying it. Yes, he is.
I know, but did you watch the roast?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You gotta go watch the roast. You have Netflix?
I do.
I need to watch it with Lexi. Does she like that kind of humor?
Yeah, she does. Yep.
Yeah, that'll be good for y'all.
Hell yeah.
How much time do you have?
It doesn't matter, dude.
Okay. What do you think about this Iran Israel shit? Are you into it, or have you not been paying attention?
I watched Trump last night. It came on at like 10 here. I watched his little speech. I didn't want to get into politics, Mata.
Well, I mean, I'm neutral. Like,
I'm neutral. Okay, fair enough. I'm neutral. It's funny. I was talking to her grandpa about it yesterday morning or the morning before, and I was like, man, I really hope we just keep our noses out of it. And then the very next day, it was like, oh fuck, we just bombed 3 of their nuclear sites. Like, we are definitely not out of it.
Yeah.
WWE goes to Saudi Arabia next week, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying like every American's a target over there. Like,
yeah, it sucks. It's dangerous, but dude, they're in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
That would start so much. I don't think they would, but no. You do want. I mean, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they'll go to the lengths as to like cancel the pay-per-view or anything. But like,
no.
I just hope everybody stays safe. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's crazy. But if you think about it, David, man, we have always, and I'm talking about everybody has always been at conflict at one point or another. People will think, oh my God, it's getting so bad. But the reality is, if you go back through American history, you go back to 9/11, you go before that, before 9/11, you had
Desert Storm.
The Desert Storm, you had Watergate, you had all the Vietnam, and then people protesting. It's actually always been like this with humans.
Yep, for sure. Well, look over in the Middle East. Look at Israel and all them. They've been fighting for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I tried to explain that to Lexi, and she's like, "How is that possible?" I'm like, "They've been fighting for thousands of years. Like, it's been nonstop, basically."
How do you change that? You don't. It does. I don't think you can.
Somebody's going to have to blow the other person off the face of the fucking earth. That's the bottom line. But you do that, then everybody else is going to, it's crazy, man.
I was talking to my neighbor. My neighbor, he is part of the Secret Service, which is really fucking cool. I'll try to get him on here, but he can't talk about anything.
You have to put him in that like black screen and make his voice real deep.
Well, he goes online. He's actually a really good person because he goes online and he is part of the online Secret Service. So like they catch predators, they catch bad people online.
That's cool.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
But we were talking last night. We got all nerded out, and it's like, I asked him, I'm like, why is it always the Middle Eastern culture that is centered around violence?
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it could be like the location on Earth because it's always like real hot, extreme temperatures. Yeah. So they've never been able to, because humans, we all get civilized. Like you grow up, you get civilized, and you become, intelligent and quit fighting.
Right.
But they've been stuck in that prehistoric, they keep killing each other. They can't ever get out of that prehistoric fighting monkey stage.
It's religion, man. It's most religions have either started there or have a footprint there.
Yeah.
And I think religion has a lot. Religion and politics obviously has huge into it, but I think religion is the biggest factor into it.
Yeah. And it's gotten in the way of life.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, so I'm more of like, look, I will never, I've said this on all my podcasts, I will never put on a Trump hat because I'm not like Trump.
Yeah.
Because
you stir the shit when you do stuff like that.
But I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand the wrong that he does.
Yeah.
And the reason why people don't like him.
Yeah.
And that's, I would never just praise that.
Right.
But I do support the change.
Fair enough.
I'm not saying it's right, but the change, I will say when he and his administration have come on now, it is completely different, dude. If he would have got shot and killed, it would be completely and normally if a new president comes on board, like some things will change, but it's pretty much fucking same.
Yeah.
This has been completely one way. But the one thing I do like is, okay, I'm down for the change. I don't know if that's good or bad. I like balance. So if we shift this way for a little bit, I don't think we should stay this way.
Right.
Maybe, hopefully we don't tip because we could if we start a nuclear war.
He came in with an iron fist, man. He said he was going to also. And like you said,
he's done what he said.
Yeah. I'm neither left or right.
I'm right in the middle, bro.
Yeah. There's part of me that respects like, hey, you're actually doing what you said you're going to do. But like some of the decisions I'm like, dude.
Well, yeah, some of us like, dude, did you have to fucking do that? Or
Yeah.
like, come on, dude. Like,
Yeah.
So and then there's so much chaos all the time. That's not ever healthy. So I'm not. I mean, people may think I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not, but I do watch more now because I'm more entertained. I'm entertained.
I remember growing up watching. My mom would have the Desert Storm, the Gulf War. Like you could see, they would have it's nighttime over there during our daytime, so you could see like the missiles going through there and stuff. I mean, I was so amazed by that. And actually, I was scrolling through Facebook earlier, and on my Facebook Reels, they were showing, the attacks that are happening right now. And I'm like, God, man, it's crazy.
Dude, how crazy is that? I was talking to my buddy the other day, like, this is the first time we've probably ever seen ballistic missiles coming down and raining down on a city.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary because that could happen. And we should be very thankful we're here. Yeah. I will say that I like the push of the patriotic. We're Americans and we're strong. Yeah. I do like that. I feel safer that way than the other way, which is more of like accept everybody. Not going to say open borders, but more. Right. That's what America's about. But I think we need a little bit of let's fucking be strong.
Construction.
Focus on for a little bit.
So one of the things that Trump said that I 100% agree with is they're sitting over there going, death to America, death to America. Yes. Really? Like you are on the other side of the world from us. We don't want nothing to do with you. You shouldn't want nothing to do with us. Yeah. I don't know, all the politics. Like I said, I'm not into it, but don't go around saying death to it. We don't go around, death to Iran. I'm not walking around saying that crap. So
that's why with Israel, like I'm more on the Israel side, even though it's some of the shit that Israel does is just as bad. But but they don't. There's one ideology that is death balance. The other one that's like, listen, we just want to fucking chill. We just want to chill.
Yeah.
And that is as a whole. There might be a few on this side that are violent too, but. And that's the thing. Their core values over there are different than ours.
Definitely.
And I don't think 100%. They ever need to match, bro. Like they don't need to match.
They never will, Mata. They never will.
When you have one side wishing death, listen, it is what it is.
Yep. So that takes me back into bringing a kid into this world. When Lexi told me, "Hey, I'm pregnant," I really had to sit back and go, "I'm bringing my child into a crazy world right now." Like. It's crazy.
But you are in the greatest country in the world.
Agreed 100%.
Even if we're not perfect, we are so thankful that we don't have to look out and think we
see
might
a bomb
have
coming
a bomb
down.
Dropped.
Yeah.
Or we might, like the way the women are treated in Iran.
Yeah. And can't even imagine, dude.
Islamic ran countries. We just need to be thankful because we're all just born out of chance here. And we're here.
Now that you talked about it, I'm going to make Lexi cover up tonight for dinner. She never came down here. I knew she wouldn't because she knew if she came down here, I was gonna be like, "Come say hi." All right, man.
But this was great, dude. I appreciate it.
It's been awesome.
Taking your Sunday and then I want to do this more. We'll keep up and
I would love
instead of being a guest, you'll be a co-host.
That would be fun as hell, dude. Anytime I'm available to do it. Not to end on this note, but my dad is in pretty poor health right now. I am gonna be trying to make it to Texas sometime soon. But when I do have it all planned out, I would love to meet up. Obviously, see you no matter what. But even if we sit in your studio for 30 minutes or whatever, and
whatever, that's the least important. But yes, we're gonna meet up.
Your office. I'm sorry.
my office. You like my monkey picture?
I love it. Yeah, dude. I didn't know how to set up behind me, so I got some family photos up here.
Yeah.
My PlayStation's behind me. I got my. I didn't know if I could keep my TV on, so I just turned it off. But
the more the better. That's what I'm learning. I need more shit in my.
Well, I watch NFL Live all the time, and all the guys have all their shit behind them.
Yeah.
I need to start. Yeah. I thought about doing it last night, but I was like, no. But yeah, I'm in the corner of the basement.
Dude, whatever works.
Lexi's upstairs doing laundry, and she's like, "You're fucking weird, dude."
Like she should be. No,
yeah.
Hey, do I kind of look like one of these monkeys?
You do. I don't know what to do with your No, you need the rings and the watches and shit. You got the tattoos.
You know what's funny? What's funny is somebody called me. Hold on, Mr. Potato Head.
Oh no,
look.
You bald as hell, dude.
Somebody called me Mr. Potato Head once, and I fucking find it so hilarious because I actually look like
you do look like a Mr. Potato Head. Hey, does your beard have any gray in it?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, I can't see it.
It's not like food stuck in my beard.
Look at my shit. Well, I can't see it. I see it now. You lifted your head up. Yeah. I'm like fucking all gray, dude.
Yeah, because you're old as shit.
I know. Fuck off. All right, it's my bedtime. I better go. I know.
All right, bro. Hey, love you, man. And I'll see you soon, all right?
All right, dude. Let's do this again, all right?
See you, bub.
All right, homie.